Hi, and welcome to the Computer Chronicles. I'm Stewart Cheifet. Scotland is, of course, famous for Scotch, but in today's Scotland, they make more than just whiskey. They make the software. There used to be a big red star hanging on that dome, symbolizing the dominance of the Communist Party. Well, there's a kind of analogy here to the internet, only in reverse.
One thing I was experimenting, just for example here, was adding the Capitol building into the background. So here's that layer, and if I just turn it on.
So much for seeing is believing.
Let's take a look at this 5 years in the future.
So you can just go in there and say, see what this is all
So
about.
you saw they grew in
So it's got enough intelligence to know that these trees grow at a certain rate in this climate with this rainfall.
So
there they are. All right, what's the big globe behind
This
there?
is a really nice children's toy. This is the Odyssey Atmosphere, and what it does is enable children to learn about geography through the use of this pointer and the electronics in here.
Adventure and role-playing games just weren't the same before computers.
Well, there have been some mobile wireless solutions up until now that are pretty good, but I have just come across the coolest and smallest solution to this problem I have seen yet, and this is it. What is this? It's a PC card that is a cellular telephone. If you do meet someone you like online, often the next step is to exchange pictures. Well, it would be nice to do that electronically online, and to do that, it helps to have one of the new digital cameras. This is the new digital still camera from Sony. Our time is up. This is the end of round 4, the end of the game, the end of Computer Bowl 5, the end of the East Coast. The score is 25 for the West, 14 for the East. The only man whose medical alert tag says Intel inside. From the Intel Corporation, Dr. Andrew Grove.
What does the acronym MIME stand for?
Mark.
Multi-Purpose Internet Mail Extensions.
Anybody knows, you ought to know. All right, that's correct. All right. Another 10 on the West. Go, John.
Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by Bay Networks, helping businesses worldwide build networks that are invisible for users and strategic for the business through adaptive networking. Bay Networks, seeing today's network through tomorrow's eyes. Additional funding from PC Connection and Mac Connection, the catalog and online superstore with over 10,000 PC and Mac products. Award-winning service, toll-free technical support, and overnight delivery. www.pcconnection.com. And by Windows Magazine, since 1992, providing information on hardware and software products to business technology buyers, because the world runs on Windows. Additional funding provided by the employees of AdaptTech, connecting the coolest, the hottest, the latest emerging technologies. Global solutions through silicon design and software engineering. At AdaptTech, we connect the world.
And also, I'm going to look at Auto Buy Tell, which is taking the gnarly part of car buying out of the equation. So that's going to be good.
And you're looking at what, an auction site online, right? That's becoming real popular.
Yeah, Z-Auction. And I'm not convinced about this whole buying online because I like to feel and touch things. But I've been told...
Well, if you can get a bargain.
Well, I've been told that there's a real kind of a zing. It sounds like also the VRML and that whole thing is moving towards allowing communities to be on the internet. Where does VRML fit into that?
Well, we have something called avatars now. Avatar comes from a Sanskrit word for incarnation.
Are you frightened that, some crazy's going to be out there who's a voyeur and he's checking out things and, hones in on your kids? Is that a fear of yours? Is it something you're concerned about?
Not really, because cyberspace has this air of anonymity. What it does is we don't go on and say, okay, this is who we are, this is where we live.
Is there a sense of that? Is the virtual community kind of a community of last resort, or is that a misrepresentation?
Well, I think you have to apply that to our entire society these days.
Is it taking it to that level, or is it something that's more personal to get it out in the local community?
I think really what it's creating in San Francisco, and I think over the web, is more of a virtual community.
Going to some of these websites, I actually saw a little button that said, what you can do. And so I could actually click that and actually see some of the things, the actions that I could take as an individual and make a difference. So that was a really
and it's
powerful
very exciting
thing.
for the organizations because through the internet they're reaching so many more people than they would through traditional media.
Virtually every men's magazine model and dancer that I know has their own website, and they're all in charge.
Now, you're pretty cool because, as I understand it, you actually went in there and wrote your own HTML code when you started this, right?
Well, when I discovered the internet, you know, the proverbial light bulb went off, and I said, I gotta have one of these.
The Internet Cafe is made possible in part by Intel. One innovative idea always leads to another. Now there are connected CD-ROMs that link rich multimedia with related information on the Internet. For connected CD-ROMs, it's the Intel Pentium processor. And by Lycos, a comprehensive index of the Internet, www.lycos.com. And by Audio Highway, makers of the Listen Up Player, which provides digital, portable, customized audio downloaded from the Internet and played anytime, anywhere, on headphones or over a car radio. And by Upside, the business magazine for the technology elite.